One. Hey, everybody, welcome to That's Good Stuff, the show where we review pop culture's newest releases. And this week, that newest release was Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul. So, the newest one from the Aardman crew, Nick Park directing, and it brings back our inventor and his dog as they're kind of living the life and Feathers McGraw is safely in jail, but he's quickly hatching a scheme to get that blue diamond that he wants so bad. And this time we get a new friend, and that's a little Norbit guy who's like a little lawn gnome that Wallace has created, and he's he's a big plot point. So we'll talk about that when we get into the spoilers. But there's also a couple of police officers. One guy, he's about to retire, so he's gonna show off the blue diamond for his big farewell, and he's there with the rookie cop. What was her name? Booka Jean or something? It's a weird name. It's one of those weird British names.
Something Pakistani, if I had to guess.
And this time, Wallace is voiced by Ben Whitehead. So, anyone who didn't know, the original actor actually passed away, so had to replace him. But this guy sounds remarkably like Wallace, so pretty good.
He doesn't have there's like a deepness to the original Wallace's voice that's missing.
Yeah, it's a little
It's a little too light. Too light.
But so that's the basic plot line for this movie. We're all big Wallace and Gromit. I mean, I grew up. I remember when it was on PBS when they would show it during the telethons. That was like the one they always showed was Wallace and Gromit during the telethons.
Did anybody listen to the audio dramas when you were kids?
I didn't even know they had audio dramas.
It's great. It's pretty great, and actually kind of like at times like scary. Like it was kind of weird, but they had one where they go back in time and one where they go back into space, and because it's a giant cheese asteroid, it's basically Wallace and Gromit Armageddon. It's pretty awesome. So
yeah, there was well, those three shorts that we all remembered, and then they did a movie not too long ago.
Rabbit.
Yeah, well, they also did like another special too. So at least that's what I saw.
Yeah, Matter of Loaf and Death.
Mhm.
I don't know if I remember that one.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I've never seen that one.
They had like a game. Do you guys remember the game?
So when my brother first became diabetic, the only PlayStation game that they would allow in for some reason was the Wallace and Gromit video game. And so me and my brother played that for like 7 hours one day.
When I first became diabetic, they gave me games too, and I got Wario for the GameCube.
Nice. They're like, this is your life now. Wario mini games.
Oreo.
So, like we said, we're all pretty much big fans of the Wallace and Gromit. Unless I don't know, Michael, are you a big fan? Maybe you actually hate it.
I've only seen like maybe one movie, so I know basically nothing about Wallace and Gromit.
Oh, really?
I've
Okay, I
seen
didn't
the,
know
the
that.
Cheese Moon one.
But yeah, classic.
That's about it.
So this one is actually kind of a sequel to The Wrong Trousers, right?
You gotta say it right. The Wrong Trousers.
Which was always probably my favorite one out of the three classic ones. I mean, they're all good, but that was always my favorite.
You forgot about the Sean spin-offs.
Yeah, there's some spin-offs. Shaun the Sheep and Chicken Run, I guess, is kind of a spin-off, but
in the same universe, the multiverse.
Yeah. So Wallace and Gromit. Well, how did you guys feel about the newest outing? Let's start with Jared.
How Feathers McGraw has been in jail since 1993. How did he know about computers and how to use them so well? How did he hack that gnome?
Smart guy.
I really enjoyed this a lot more than I didn't like the Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I don't know why. It just didn't. It wasn't that good. Like it wasn't as good as the first three like short films.
No.
And I think
Beware
it's because
the moon.
they don't focus on Wallace and Gromit as much. Like in the Curse of the Were Rabbit, there's all the villagers, and I'm like, I don't give a some of them are ugly as sin, and I don't really care about them. And then in this one, it wasn't as bad. I did like the two cops, but I much rather just be with Wallace and Gromit all the time because Gromit is like the best dog character ever. He's such a good boy, and he doesn't get enough love. And then Feathers McGraw is like, he's like he's like a Courage the Cowardly Dog villain. He's so good. I love like how the gnome was like looking at Gromit just like Feathers would, and he was kind of like, but I think the only thing I didn't really care too much about in this movie were the gnomes. The one was okay, but then it's just like an army of them. I was like, ugh. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was a lot. I thought it was just going to be another short, like a 30 or 20-minute long one.
Yeah, I thought
it was
so
a whole
too.
movie, so I was super surprised. But I thought it was super cozy. Like if you were, that was like a rainy day, it'd be great to put on. I just really liked it.
Some tea and cheese and crackers.
Yeah, some cheese. What's your favorite cheese to go with this, Joseph?
The Edam.
Thomas, what's your favorite cheese to go with this?
Screw you.
That's not a cheese.
So
Michael,
what'd
did
you
you eat
think?
any cheese?
I don't remember if I ate anything while I watched this.
Well, since it was your kind of first exposure, not first exposure, but you haven't had too much
been a
exposure to
while.
Wallace and Gromit. What did you think of this one?
I enjoyed it. I'm familiar enough to know like their dynamic and characters and everything. And excuse me, my voice is going. But I love all the animations, like his house being all, technology, waking up everything in the toast and everything, and just Gromit just like kind of just on the side. Like he's like that. Like it's not Wallace. Wallace isn't an idiot, but it's like Gromit's way smarter than he's given credit for, and so he's just kind of like holding the glass up, like, yeah, I'll just placate you this whole time. But then it was sad when his poor little garden got corrected or whatever. But no, they're good characters, enjoyable moments of that. I agree with Jared. I don't like the gnomes at all. It's just that
really
that kind of aesthetic is just. I'm like, ugh. I'm just like, no, I don't like it. Gnomes are weird and creepy anyway. The story itself, I feel like is very formulaic for like a sequel. Very much like here are the points we're going to hit, and nothing surprising in it to me. But enjoyable movie though. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I was gonna say I like Wallace, the cut of Wallace's jib, because his breakfast, each toast has a different jam.
Yeah,
I was like, that good choice, Wallace.
What did Gromit put on his face to block all the jam? What was that?
just those goggles.
Oh, goggles. Yeah, he's just like.
It's interesting that he chooses to allow the community to see him a little nude every morning.
Every morning.
He's just in that slide.
He's an eccentric inventor.
he has no shame. Okay, Thomas, what do you think?
I mean, I enjoyed it because I always enjoy Wallace and Gromit. Like the animation's charming. Gromit's probably the best part. I think the only thing I didn't like was the lack of like the sarcasm in some of this. Like, cause like the original stuff, like Gromit, just his physicality is super sarcastic, and he's kind of missing with this. He just looked tired. Like
that's true. Because like in the original, like Wrong Trousers, they were a lot more antagonistic towards each other. Wallace or Gromit and Feathers.
And Feathers, yeah. But it was just, it was still charming. Again, the gnomes I didn't mind. I thought they were funny, especially when they were charging.
It's alarming.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like the cops. I can't pronounce her name. I apologize. But I liked her. I thought she was funny. He's like, how long have you been on the force? Today. So, but yeah, I mean, it was very charming, but it wasn't the best one, but it wasn't bad. Like, I don't think any of them are bad. But there was the lack of like the sarcasm that I was really looking forward to, especially like the Wrong Trousers one, because that one I think is probably the most sarcastic. But
I'd
yeah.
say it's a better step towards Wallace and Gromit than like Were Rabbit.
Were Rabbit definitely was better. Or sorry, this was definitely better than Were Rabbit.
Yeah.
Though I will say that the Were Rabbit, though, the animation of Were Rabbit is pretty just like crazy that they did that. And I think I kind of cut back on the extravagance, I guess. Except for the boat scene. The boat scene was pretty cool. Looked into how much boats cost in England, by the way. So I was like, oh, that might be interesting to be in a longboat in England, but whatever. A canal boat, if you will. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it was successfully, like Jared said, kind of bring it back to formula. I don't hate Rare Rabbit. It just I don't know. It feels too much like a movie, like a cash-in type of. We got to make a Hollywood movie now instead of just what we're known for. Because I like these little shorts. They're kind of like little pulp, like 50s era horror stories or something like that, mystery stories. So that's cute. Like I said, the voice for Wallace was pretty darn good. Couldn't tell too much when he.
The guy that did Gromit's voice, spot on.
The gnome, I kind of like the gnomes actually. I thought they were pretty funny, but especially that charging scene, that was just very disturbing. And then Feathers was fun. He's always a fun antagonist. I like that. It kind of left him on a cliffhanger that he's kind of escaped. So he's still out there.
I think when he sees him at the zoo and he's in that chair, then he turns around, he's like petting that seal.
Oh yeah. That seal looked weird. It looked like it was like furry.
They're furry when they're younger.
Furry seals.
He looked too furry.
Oh,
he was a furry boy.
No, I liked when Feathers McGraw was doing chin-ups, plotting his revenge.
I was like, oh, what a cool guy, right? In the pen, he's just already going in.
Was there like because I kind of felt bad for Wallace being just thrown under the bus so quickly with like all the robberies and everything. Like, is there a rapport with him and the townspeople, or are they just they know him well
like
enough to think?
Like with Were Rabbit, he's kind of like he's the eccentric inventor.
And Close Shave, he's just kind of like a guy that cleans the windows. So
he's always like he's always trying to find ways to make money just to invent more. He's always doing odd jobs.
I was asking Joseph during Christmas, like when we were watching the Gremlins, why was every dad in the 80s and 90s an inventor? I've never met an inventor dad, but like you got like Stu Pickles, you got Wallace, you got all kinds.
We don't have inventors anymore. That's why. So I did like there was one line. I think it was like the cheek of it when like they were all tied up, and I just started cracking up at that. What else to say?
I like when he gets the old kettle. And he's trying to he's pushing the top as a bun. He's like, it's broken.
That one doesn't work when he goes and takes it down.
Also, is Wallace's house infinitely inside TARDIS? Because I swear,
pretty much, man.
It just keeps going. Especially the bathtub scene. I'm like, how big is that bathroom? Because it just keeps going.
And when
pretty big.
When the submarine comes out, he's like, I didn't know it could do that.
And then for the cops, I was really kind of worried about them because I don't, like Jared says, I don't want other characters besides Wallace and Gromit. But they were fine. I could actually see a spin-off with the cops in that little town just doing stupid crimes and stuff like that. That would actually be pretty funny. If they could do a kids version of Hot Fuzz or something like that.
I did like the ends for the retired cop. He's like, nope, gotta chase criminals in my canal boat.
Oh yeah. 30 knots or 3 knots or whatever it was. Yeah, so if you're a Wallace and Gromit fan, you should probably check this out because you'll probably like it. but you probably are, and you probably already have. So tell us what you thought. If you didn't like it, let us know and tell us why. But that's going to do it for this time. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff. We will see you next time. Bye.